morning.
Good morning. It's afternoon here, though.
Oh,
Good morning,
sorry.
afternoon.
Okay. Happy day.
Happy September 11th,
Happy September
15,
11th. Yep.
15-year anniversary for 9/11,
Yeah.
which all over the world I'm sure everybody knows about, so we don't have to go into it.
Yeah.
But I remember that it was just a couple months after Wendy had died,
Yeah.
and I didn't even know. I mean, I knew the Twin Towers had business related things in it, but I didn't know until people started talking about it that there was a daycare and there was a lot of children that were killed. And I thought, you know what? Sometimes there's a silver lining, and I hate to even kind of maybe make that jump too far, but I thought there's Wendy, who's a teacher. She's up in heaven waiting to greet all these kids. And
Yeah.
so it was sort of it was a really strange, we were already still
Well,
going through all that we were going through. And then the world went through what they went through. So,
and it's
but
interesting because I look back on that time and I remember feeling um, not cheated, but almost kind of like, well, of course. I mean, when you go through a personal tragedy,
yeah,
the world just kind of keeps going on, and everybody
yes,
just keeps, and the world
yeah,
goes on around you, and meanwhile, your world has stopped, and you're just frozen in time in shock.
yeah.
And
It's like the commercial for Discover Card where they they hit freeze and the girl runs back to the bar to get the Discover Card and everybody's in
yeah,
midair frozen. That's what it feels like
right,
for a really, really long time. Everybody says their accolades, they say their condolences, they say their sorries, and a couple weeks later, everybody else gets to go back to normal life
right. And to
except
have
for
that
us.
happen to the world, it's kind of like, well, duh, we just went through that. It,
Yeah, and
it was
still,
really it was a very odd
yeah,
sensation because it was only 2 months, really,
right,
almost to the
right,
day, and
yes,
it was
hmm,
bizarre. So, for those
yeah,
of you who are feeling a special, personalized pain today, we're with you.
yeah,
Um, we're very proud of our country for moving on in the way it did. It changed our
yeah,
world, it changed our
yes,
lives. But to all of those out there that have been affected personally by this, we're thinking of
yeah. And I work with a lot of the elderly population, and every now and then I'll get like a World War II vet,
you.
and of course they're in their late 80s, and they say, I remember I was there in Pearl Harbor. And you think about that and you say, okay, it was December something and 5th or 6th or what. And of course, in their mind, that is a date they will
Never
never,
forget.
ever forget.
Yeah,
Was probably one of the first things in our country's history of changing our historical path.
yeah,
And so, I think about all of us in our generation now, when we get to be old women and old men, we'll
yeah,
say, I remember where I was during 9/11. They say, well, 9/11, 9/11. Well, of course, they'll have to remember the date because
yes.
that's just,
That's what it's called.
but yeah, I remember Jared was 3 years old, and he, after the whole couple weeks of just talking about it incessantly on the news, and people started getting back to their lives. Um, Jared said, Mommy, play that movie where the building comes down with the airplanes. And I couldn't explain to him, obviously, until later that that
Yeah,
wasn't a movie, that was
yeah,
real life.
yeah.
So, anyway, on a lighter note, who are we,
I know.
crazy
We
people?
got in a big tangent before we even said hello. Who we are? We are the Periscoping Sisters. Thank you so much for our returning viewers for coming back,
Yes.
and if you're checking us out for the first time, thanks for joining us. I'm Debbie. I'm the younger sister, and I live in California.
And I'm Amy. I double as an air traffic controller. I live in Georgia. I'm Inked Indigo on Instagram and Indigo Amy on Ravelry, and I am the older sister only by 1 year.
Yes, and I am Debbie Reese on Ravelry and Debbie S. Reese on Instagram. Come
And
over and follow us.
come over, follow us. And so Ronnie and I went to the beach. We had a little getaway this week
Yes,
over Labor Day weekend.
and I can't
Um,
believe how just gosh darn
lucky.
lucky you guys got. Holy
Okay,
cow.
so I know. So tropical storm slash hurricane Hermine was coming across Florida,
Yeah.
and I talked to Dad about maybe 4 or 5 days before we left, which was last Saturday. And he said in his sweet, innocent way, "Are you happening to be watching the Weather Channel?" And I said, "Dad, I have been stalking the Weather Channel for the last 10 days. I will have you know." And then, it comes to the point where you say, listen, I have absolutely no control over the weather. None at all. So unless they close the major road that goes to the beach and evacuate everybody, we are going, rain or shine, or come hell or high water. And even in high water, if they let us pass, we will go. So that's exactly what we did. We woke up Saturday morning. It was a gorgeous sunny day in Georgia. We headed to the beach, and we didn't see one
One cloud.
drop of rain, one storm cloud, not one drop of rain the whole time we were there, and we left, came home on Wednesday. It was just
You didn't see, like,
very
if it
lucky.
wasn't cloudy or no storm
No,
at all?
no storm at all, no clouds, no misty, no foggy, nothing.
Oh my
And it seems like every time we go to the beach, something strange happens
Yeah.
that you've never seen before. Like we went to Hilton Head this last summer, we had that huge
Water spout.
weather system, the water spouts and the tornadoes off in the distance in the water. That was incredible. Probably will never see that again in my life.
Yeah.
This time, I guess it was Monday or Tuesday, you could see in the waves, when the wave starts to crest and just before it starts to curl, the sun shines through, there were fish about this big, thousands of fish, schools of fish in the waves, like you're right there and they're crashing on you. Of course, I wasn't right there because I was smarter. I was on my beach chair watching. And I looked at Ronnie and I said, when there's fish, there are bigger fish to come eat the little fish. Well, wouldn't you know, sharks came. Okay, not great white sharks, but
Wow.
these were, I don't know if they were sand sharks. They were 4 or 5 feet long sharks. I mean, they weren't 13 feet jaws sharks, but the lifeguard girl had to get down off her stand. She blew the whistle probably 5 or 6 times throughout the day, told people to come in because we saw fins right there, like in front of these breaking waves. Like
Oh.
where you could stand calf deep in water. And the same not little boy, okay, I'd say he was probably 15 or 16. He was in the water again with his boogie board, and then they called him out. And then he was in with his snorkel and his mask, and then they called them out again. And then he went back. I said, "That this boy not afraid of anything?" I said, "I don't care what kind of shark it is. If it has teeth, I don't want to be in the water with it." So that was pretty strange
Yeah.
for, beach things. But we had a great, great time. I got a lot done as far as sock knitting. Of course, sitting there in 92-degree weather, working on wool socks at the beach was perfect. People already look at me strangely anyway. So, you're sitting there knitting on the beach is already an occurrence that doesn't normally happen. And then somebody actually says, "What are you knitting?" And I say, "Wool socks. Would you like a pair?" And they kind of laugh and think, she really must be drinking a lot. So anyway,
Oh,
what is happening in your life? I had one other major event happen on Tuesday before we came back. My big boy went away. Just like Skyland said when we watched him graduate, she looked at me and she says, "Mom, he's leaving us." That's what she said during graduation in May. And I was perfectly fine holding it together, but we went to Levi's football game last Friday. And I knew it was going to be the last time I'd see Jared, my oldest. He went off to basic training. And he and his girlfriend, Aiken, out to Japanese food before the game. And then they sat with us at the game, most of the game. And then finally it was time to go down and see Levi on the field after their win. And I knew that was when I was going to have to say goodbye because we were leaving for the beach the next day. So I said goodbye, gave him a big hug, and I said, "You're going to do great." And I didn't cry one time.
good for you. I would have been
I was
bawling.
very proud. Yeah.
I probably would
And
have
he
been
called.
crying as soon as I turned around to walk away. I would have been crying.
Well, and Aiken was saying, she says, "My mother doesn't want to see Jared. She doesn't want to say goodbye because she's going to make a scene. She's going to miss him so much."
Yeah.
But he got on a bus and he's just a couple hours away, and
I keep thinking
nobody has
about
heard from
him.
him.
Oh my gosh, I keep thinking.
Nobody's heard from him. They say you were allowed to make one phone call home. And the big running joke was his dad would be mad if he called me. And then I would be perturbed if he called his dad. And then he says, well, I'll just call Levi, his brother. I said, do not call Levi. He won't answer. He'll playing a game or doing something. So he decided he was going to call his grandparents, and his grandparents would then call us. Well, we never got word. Finally, on Tuesday or Wednesday morning, I'm like, has anybody heard from Jared? Has anybody heard from Jared? And come to find out, he called Aiken, his girlfriend, 10 minutes before the bus pulled in at the base. And she said he was supposed to call his dad. I said, I don't think he called anybody. So you are the last person he spoke to. So, and she's like, I'm really worried. I said, don't be worried, because if something major happened,
They would
his father or I would be the first people that would be contacted. So no news is good news, and he's, I'm sure, doing fine. And when he complains, I will remind him that he signed up for it. It was not my choice, so I don't want to hear one complaint out of him.
I don't think you will. I don't think you'll hear.
I don't think he will either.
It was so nice. I
He's
called you guys when you were at dinner, and I got to talk to him. And
yeah.
Really nice to hear his voice and get to talk to him before he left. And he sounded real excited. And
yes, he's rah-rah, go team, go U.S. Army, I guess, or National Guard, excuse me.
Yeah. Whatever.
Same thing. Is it not the same thing? Okay, so we need to talk about the last podcast.
Well, okay.
How Skyland started it off. Nana finished it, and we have not heard the end of all the comments about Nana's special appearance. And
everybody
Sky's
was
too.
So sweet, and I told Mom,
oh my
people have said that you need to do your own podcast, and
oh my gosh,
could you imagine? And
no,
she just laughed.
No,
she just laughed. She loves she loves sharing what she knows about knitting and showing her projects. And let me tell you, she's got some really good tips and
she
things
does.
that, she says, oh, well, try this. And goes, how did you even figure that out or learn that? She says, I don't know. I picked it up along the way somehow, or it just occurred to me.
When you've been knitting for 50 years, you pick things up along the way. And to remember all those things and speaking of memory, I do want to say, one thing, I work, like I said, I'm a physical therapist in home health, and I work with the elderly. The majority of my patients are elderly. And in our family, we do have spatterings of what my mother calls dementia, I think is Alzheimer's. Either way, it's a very, very sad thing, and it tends to be hereditary. So in all the joking that Debbie and I do about Alzheimer's and how our memory's going, and we didn't take our pill this morning, that is definitely not a way to poke fun at anybody with the disease or families that are struggling with this disease. It's almost like if you don't laugh about it, you'd cry. But we're sorry if we've offended anybody when it comes to that, because that certainly isn't our intention. So I wanted to get that out of the way, because I would have forgotten to say it. Moving on. Okay, moving on. Should we talk about some admin things?
Sure. Before we do that, I'm just going to say thank you for sending me the information about the sciatic nerve stuff. My husband and I have been dealing with this crazy, we don't even know where it came out of, and how both of us got it, afflicted with it at the same time.
Oh, you got it too, Debbie? I thought it was just him. No, I didn't know that.
I've been dealing with it too. All last week, I had to basically almost stand up all day. I couldn't sit down because of the pain.
Oh, I didn't know that, Debbie.
Yeah, and so he is still having a hard time with it, but he's working on it. We're stretching, and he's, I got actually from one of my guys at work, everybody was asking me, why are you standing up? What's going on? So I had to share, and I had to give a presentation, and I sat through most of it, and then I had to stand up. And so it was just like,
You just wanted people to look at you to
I
be
know.
different.
I had all these big wig meetings, and then I ended up having
Yeah.
to stand, and it's kind of embarrassing. But people understand. People are very sweet.
Standing is better for your back anyway.
I know. But
So did
my
somebody give you
friend,
something?
yeah, he gave me a lacrosse ball, which is
Oh,
a rubber
yes,
ball
very
that's
hard.
hard, and that I think really helped me turn the corner. And James started using that last night, so hopefully.
Okay, tell people what you do with the ball before their imagination runs wild and they want to turn us off because it's not G-rated.
Okay, you put the ball between yourself and the wall
Hmm.
on your butt and on your lower back, and you just kind of lean up against it and you roll
It's a
back and
sort of
forth,
massage.
and it
Hmm.
really helps with getting deep into your gluteus maximus and pushing on the muscle that's squeezing on the
An
nerve.
elbow works very well too, but depending
Yes.
on how closely you are to your coworkers, I doubt that any will
No.
volunteer. And also, just as a PT tip too, a lot of times, like women in between your shoulder blades, you get kind of
Hmm.
a racquetball. It can't be a tennis ball does work, but something that's even firmer, a racquetball or a handball, you can lean up against the wall and go back and forth. That works very well. So
Yeah.
anyway, so your butts are feeling better, I hope.
I'm feeling better. Yes, I don't have as
Good.
much pain today. I'm doing okay. I'm just sitting here in my chair, and I don't have any major pain.
Well, if you have to stand up, you're going to have to stand up and lean
I
forward
don't.
so we don't lose your face.
So that's going on here, and work's just been really busy. A lot of big
Yep.
projects going on, and so I haven't had as much time to, attend to the things that we like to attend to with our group and Ravelry messages and all of that. But we pop in there when we can. We do read everything. Just a
Yes, we
matter.
do.
Sometimes it's hard to get back to everybody, but we really do
Quickly,
appreciate your
quickly.
feedback and your
Hmm.
comments and everything. So thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Thank you. And so
We better
let's
know
talk
something
about,
because mom's going
okay.
to yell at us.
Okay. See there. Okay.
Okay,
So
that's good.
let's finish up with our admin stuff. Okay. Hold on, Mother, just a couple more minutes. Let's talk about the 3 pips, Mystery
Yes.
Knit Along, and then we'll talk about Gabicorn. Okay.
Okay. I
Okay.
cannot believe the 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 hype over this mystery knit along. Everybody was posting pictures, and you, Miss
Everybody's
ADHD, who can't wait and be patient, having to release the clues early every
day
week.
early. Oh my gosh, I'm like the favorite now. Everybody thinks I'm the favorite, and they said, "You did this just for me." And I lied, and I said, "Yes, I did just for you." So everybody was really excited. Actually, one of the girls from my local yarn store, she's like, "Amy, I'm going out of town tomorrow morning at the crack of dawn. Is there any way that is it being released at midnight?" I said, "Dang it, okay, Sherlyn." So it was before we left for the football game from last Friday, two
Yeah,
Fridays ago.
yeah.
So I released it, and she said, "Oh, thank you, thank you." And of course, everybody was just like, "Oh my gosh, what a great surprise!" So, and then there were some people who were like, "I'm still waiting on my Lolo knitted yarn." It's okay, you'll catch up. And last night, there actually was the first person that I saw posted finished Clue 2 already.
Already.
Debbie, we didn't even finish Clue 2 this fast.
I don't know how she said she knit all
I think
day.
she must be bedbound and not have any children, and a husband that waits on her.
She said
I'm sure of it.
I'm trying to remember. I think
Our husband was away.
is it Diane?
That makes sense. I can't remember,
I
but
can't.
oh wow.
She's
So
got the speckle blue and orange
yes,
and cream with the blue. It's
yes.
right, really pretty.
Oh, the combinations, you guys, that you have come up with are I don't know. I haven't found one that I don't
I
like. I may
know.
just
I'm gonna
have to
have to
knit
knit
one in
another.
every color. Me too. Me too. And I think Mother probably will have at least 4 or 5, like she has of my Because I Love You wrap. I'm sure she will.
Yeah.
So for those of you, okay, so this is our first mystery knit along. When we posted our Ravelry thread, we called it Mystery Knit Along Chatter because at the beginning, before the first clue came out, that's all it was.
Yeah.
And unbeknownst to me and Debbie, we didn't realize that people would start posting pictures, but for some that's okay. So then there were some people who are like, well, I don't really want to see it, but I want to be involved in the conversation. So we actually had one of our members post another thread, which was perfect. I mean, Deb and I are busy, and if you say, I think there should be a thread, post a thread.
Okay.
So she posted a spoilers thread. So I guess from here on out, please chatter about the Mystery Knit Along in the chatter thread. If you want to post your pictures and post your progress, go over to the spoilers thread. So for those who don't want to be tempted with spoilers, they can just go over to the chatter thread. So, but just know if you're part of Instagram or Ravelry, you're probably going to see something. It was funny. I pulled up Instagram, I guess yesterday morning. I woke up the first three posts, two of the three posts on there were of the three pips. I
I know.
thought, oh my gosh, that's crazy. So, okay, so we
But
got that taken care of. So that's great. So the last clue will be coming out. I guess I should say this Friday, since the first two came out on a Friday. I'll post the last clue on Friday. And also for people who want to make their wraps bigger, you can do that in the third clue very easily. So if you would like it longer, deeper, whatever, you can just knit more of clue three.
I would knit more of clue 1, more of clue 2, and then more of clue 3.
Okay, well, since some people already done clue 2, that doesn't help them out at all
I
now. Thank you
know.
very much. Oh, and I also wanted to say, there was a lot of people, Deb and I do things automatically and sometimes don't even think about it when we're
Yeah.
writing patterns, like carrying yarn.
Yeah.
So I carried my yarn in a way that some people were like, well, I don't really want to do it that way. And Debbie thought of a really great way, and she did hers a little different. That tip that Debbie had about carrying the yarn, I did put in the pattern. It is in the clue 2. So
Okay.
if you haven't quite started and you've only downloaded clue 1 or whatever, go back and download clue 2, print it out, and it'll have that little tip before you start the stripe section.
Yeah.
Okay, that's enough of that.
That's not that. So thank
We're
you
going to talk about
everyone
Gabicorn.
for joining
Yes,
us
yes,
for our
yes.
first mystery knit along.
That's exciting.
It's
We'll
just
do
been
it again.
so fun. Yeah, we'll have to do it again.
Yeah.
It's just been.
Oh, and let me also say, Debbie, and I'm sorry for talking so much because I'm not the only one on this podcast. When we did the random act of color, we had a major, major stall out faux pas that got us very scared to death when we put me and Debbie both as the designers.
Oh, yeah.
Behind the scenes, Casey with Ravelry had to fix it. We were trying to get it
I don't
out.
think
Everybody
you
was
can.
waiting.
I don't think
I
you
don't think you can
can
put more than one
one
person's name
designer.
as the
They have
designer.
to do something behind the scenes to make it
Yes.
designers and
Yes.
just.
So anyway, when you pull up the random act of color, it'll be in Debbie's Ravelry shop. And when you print out the page, it'll say it's an Amy Meeks and Debbie Reese design. Same thing with the 3 pips. I had to put it in my shop because to keep from having all that problems, but me and Debbie have collaborated on this and most every pattern probably from here on out. So I always tend to correct people when they say, Amy, what a beautiful design and you're such a genius. My thumbs almost won't type that it was also Debbie's idea, although my heart says you must be honest, but no, it was me and Debbie's creation for sure. So
Well, I think we make a good team because a lot of times
yeah,
you have an
I hate math.
idea. What's that?
I hate math and you love math.
I don't necessarily love it, but it's a little easier to me maybe. But yeah, you have an idea and then you bounce some things off and then we develop it a little more and I change it and it kind of morphs into where we look back and we say,
right.
I can't remember which one of us thought of that part of it, but it just kind of turns into something better between the two of us collaborating. So, and that happened, I mean, even on my first Wendy Scott.
And because I love you wrap as well from the very first one.
Yeah. So it's okay.
It happened on all of the patterns except for your don't touch those leaves.
That's right.
Because if it were up to me, well, I frocked the sock because I started knitting it when I was sick that week and it ended up not hardly fitting over my foot and it was a disaster from the beginning and that was only because of my error. So I had very little input.
Your flower box cowl and your
oh, that's true.
Your home cowl, I didn't really help with any of that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just hit or miss. But anyway, thank you guys so much for your support. It's been so fun seeing everybody's color.
Yeah. It is.
And we're just thrilled that you guys are having fun with it. So,
yeah.
Okay. The other
Gabicorn.
Gabicorn. She arrived back at.
Oh, I know. I'm so glad, Debbie. I'm so jealous.
Check her out.
Oh my God.
Look how beautiful she is.
How many are on there, Debbie?
Oh my God.
Did you look at the little booklet?
Oh, I guess I could count the booklet. Here. Check her out, though, you guys. Is she not the most gorgeous thing?
Okay, so let's talk about who she is. I know. So let's start from the beginning because a lot of people have heard about Gabicorn and maybe not followed her, but so Andy, Andre Sunit's daughter Abigail, she created Gabicorn for us. Gabicorn went out in the world right before January 1st with this little notebook. And basically, there's sign up on our Ravelry group called Traveling Fiber Unicorn, and every person that gets her attaches a yarn. Oh my gosh, Debbie, have you read all that and
I
kind of where the
have.
yarn came from
Look
and
at them all.
where people are? Oh my gosh, how awesome! I'm so excited. So you're going to bring her to Rhinebeck so I can see her,
Yeah,
and
so
then we'll
we have.
send her back out in the world again. She's counting, just like I was counting last time. So as she's
There's
counting, we'll go
24. 24 entries.
24. Okay, so since just the end of last year, just before the new year, we've had 24. So if you're on page 19 on the sign-ups,
It's going to be a
make
little
sure you put in your will, if the person that lives in your house with that address and this thing shows up, then just have your great-grandchildren write in it and send it off again.
Yeah.
It will get to you, I'm sure.
We just have to be more disciplined. When you get it, do your
Yes.
post on Instagram, put your yarn in there, and pop her back in the mail.
Okay, so this is what I would have for people's goal. Try to get her back in the mail before the 1 week mark, because if it's going overseas, it may take 2 weeks for the next person to actually get her. So
did you talk about who made her?
Yes, I did while you were counting, or
Okay.
maybe it was before that part. So I don't know.
So
We'll have to think
beautiful.
about if we want another thing to go out. Maybe January, have another one, a little gnome or something. We may need to think about that. Wouldn't that be cute?
That would be fun.
We could have 2 of them going. Okay, we'll think about it.
Okay.
So Gabicorn is coming to, Debbie will keep Gabicorn coming to Rhinebeck, so everybody can, maybe if you're on the list and you're going to be at Rhinebeck, we can get you to sign the book and put your thread on there or your yarn on there then, and then we'll kind of take you off the list.
That'll help to shorten.
That'll shorten the list.
To go to.
Yep.
So,
okay, so we'll have Gabicorn with us.
Still need to get a good picture of her to make our buttons. I need to send away for the buttons. I know they can come pretty quickly.
Yeah.
We just need to talk about how many buttons we think we need to order.
Okay, so if anybody has any ideas, let us know in your comments for this podcast how many buttons we should order.
Yeah.
To take to Rhinebeck with us.
Because even if we have extra, I'd rather have extra than run out.
Well, then every time we send a little something, or we can put a button in there. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, 3,000 is probably not too many. I'm only kidding.
You guys, look at this here. I got to make sure this is the right one. 3,000 is not too many? Is that what you said?
I'm only kidding, yes. Okay, she did hear me.
So check this one out, you guys. I saw this one and I was like, what the heck is that? Can you see?
Yes. Oh, it's braided. Oh, did somebody knit that? It looks like an I-cord.
That's the yarn. That's the way the yarn is. That's what Eric used for his void shawl.
Oh,
Isn't that cool? So fuzzy and soft.
Looks like an I-cord.
I know.
Oh my gosh, how cool. Wow. So when you get Gabicorn, if you really love a certain one on there, you can look it up in the index in the book.
And I love how some people made theirs really long.
That's cute.
She's awesome.
So neat.
Okay.
She's awesome. Thank you, Abigail.
Yes, thank you, Abigail, and thank you, Andy.
Okay, so we better start, or I'm sure Mother has turned us off by now. She's probably said, let's watch Dr. Phil instead. These girls are making me crazy. They're not talking about anything I want to listen to anyway.
Okay, it's a good thing I don't have that much stuff to show. This will be the Amy show. The Amy...
Oh. Okay, remember the socks that I was finishing? I had one, and I had asked if I would have enough of the orange, which was September Forest from Baronvula, and this is Ocean Mist by
Yarn Cafe.
Yarn Cafe Creations. Okay, so
wait, that reminded me of something, a comment that someone said. Do you guys do show notes? You talk so fast and you say all these people and places and yarn.
Okay, so the answer is we used to do show notes, and then Debbie said that would be my job, and I decided it was too much like homework, and I screwed it up a couple times. So then Debbie said, "Well, heck with that." So we don't do show notes. So we will have to talk slower.
Or we'll just have to tell people if you need to rewind and go rewatch parts of it, go rewatch parts of it. We're really sorry, but I mean, it takes me almost half a day to a day to get this thing edited and
and
uploaded.
and if and what people don't understand about the process, if you see if you hear music or you hear sound effects or you see words on the screen, that is all edited. That all has to be put in and downloaded and uploaded, and it makes the editing process, like when you watch the Grocery Girls and all the cool stuff, it takes hours and hours to get that done.
I used
So
to do that at the beginning on the other
it's just,
podcasts, and
Debbie
it's
said, it
too
just
much.
takes too much.
So now
Okay.
put our little intro in. If I think of it and we have some pictures to pop in at the end, I'll do that. And then you have to download it from the computer, from iTunes onto the computer. Then you have to put it through a software that compresses it, and then you have to upload it into the YouTube, and it's hours.
Okay, so
anyway,
back to the okay, so the orange. Yes. September Forest by Vicky from Baronvula.
And I told you that you were going to run out.
You told me you were going to run out. And I took a poll, and everybody was very encouraging. They're like, "You go, girl, cross my fingers. You got this." I didn't get it.
You ran out.
Ran out. I literally, you guys, I ran out 2.5 rounds. I was 2.5 rounds short.
I told you so.
Can you tell where it is? I'll show you where it is.
You did a really good job. Yeah, it's right down by the toe. But man, that is a great match. Holy cow.
And I didn't do the stripe in the toe to match the other.
That's okay.
Okay, so what I did, I kidnapped some yarn from my nomadic yarns.
Uh-huh.
I found an orange stripe. I found some orange yarn. I wound till I got the orange, and then I knit, and it was almost to the last stitch enough because it was going to start to turn to yellow. I said, phew. So I didn't want to kidnap another stretch of orange.
Yeah.
So
it turned out.
Yeah, you got done. Okay, so Debbie was right. And this was the pattern. Okay, so I have my sock pattern up with my gray socks.
Miss, I'll never knit a pair of socks. I don't like sock knitting is now writing sock patterns. Thank you very much.
Yes, why do people feel like they have to knit socks?
I think I need to get a commission on every one of your sock pattern sales because I'm the only reason you're knitting socks.
Okay, I'll send you 10 cents. Okay, so these two are up. It's called the 9-inch Cirque sock recipe.
Yes.
So, okay.
Wait, hold up that other one again.
The gray ones?
That's cool. Like that.
Yep. Thank you. Okay, so what do you have, Miss Missy?
Okay,
anything to show that you finished? Or even a work in progress?
I don't have any finished objects.
Okay.
Are those the only finished objects you have?
No, I have more.
Should I just show work in progress so that you don't have
Sure.
to forever? Okay.
Of course. Who wants to hear me talk forever?
I have you know what? I'll show you a big major piece of a project that's almost a finished object. If you are knitting something in pieces and you finished one of the pieces, you could kind of say it's a finished object. Are you ready?
Yeah, like one of your month blocks?
Kind of, but bigger.
Bigger? Oh my gosh. That wouldn't be the Rhinebeck sweater, would it, without sleeves?
It is the Rhinebeck sweater without...
It is a Rhinebeck vest.
It's the Rhinebeck vest so far.
Okay, so it is absolutely gorgeous. So I need to talk to you about a little something that I heard through the grapevine.
Do you see where I was at our last podcast?
You have been working quite much on that. Wow, Debbie.
That's what I did all weekend last weekend while I was sitting at baseball games through the Labor Day weekend, through the tournaments. I was knitting on my sweater.
Well, I heard a little birdie had made a phone call to you and asked if you wanted Nana to help you knit your sweater. Oh my gosh, Debbie, that is like perfect. Now that's the large.
That's the large.
Oh, okay, mine might not fit me. I decided to use the medium.
Why?
But I went up a needle size, I think.
Well, this yarn is very forgiving. It will block
Okay.
pretty well.
Okay. So I heard through the grapevine that Nana called you and asked if you wanted her to knit your Rhinebeck sweater. And
And
what did you say?
I said, it's not a Rhinebeck sweater unless you knit it yourself. So no thank you. I will handle that all on my own. Thank you for the
Oh,
offer though.
okay. Well, that same Nana called me
I know I heard. She told
and
me.
I said yes.
I know you did. It's
So,
not a Rhinebeck sweater unless you, okay, that's the poll number 2, people. Poll number 2. We
okay.
need your verdict on this. Is Amy allowed to call this her Rhinebeck sweater if she hasn't knit it herself?
I knit 1/4 of it.
You didn't knit 1/4 of it.
Yes, I did. I knit all the way up into the armholes. That's about 1/4.
You got all the way to the armholes?
Yes. I was at the part where you stopped, like where you said you knit till, Okay, so for those of you who want to say, no, it's not called, what, okay, I will not design another pattern from here on out if people don't side with me. That was a big lie. I'm only kidding.
So
Debbie, that is absolutely
so far.
beautiful. Did you start the sleeves?
Yep, I'm doing them both at the same time.
And they're worked flat, and then you have to seam them, right?
Yes.
That is very beautiful. Okay, so what I did is I put all of my yarn, what I had knit, the pattern that's half crumpled up, and I highlighted which row I was on and told Mom, oh, by the way, the last 2 rows are wonky because I think I'm not on the right row, so you can maybe figure it out. I kept the needles in there. I actually have the rest of the citadel that I never unwound into the ball yet, but I sent her a really pretty gradient skein as a thank you.
Oh, well, that was nice.
Yeah. And it was in my awesome granny bag because that's where it was. And I hope she sends that one back because I like that bag.
Okay.
But if she keeps it, I understand.
I'll make sure.
Okay. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mom. So when people see me wearing it, just know from the boobs down, that's what I knit. So if it looks really strange or fits me perfectly on the top part of my sleeves, you can thank my mother because that will be what she knitted.
That was knit by the Knitting Nana.
That was knit by the Knitting Nana. Okay, so I will show another sock. I got 2 full socks done while I was on vacation.
Wow.
And so this is one of them.
Pretty. Hold it in the middle of your screen because remember it gets cut in half. Remember your screen gets trimmed. There you go.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know you're going to ask me what yarns these are. This green is Rift Hedgehog Fibers.
Your color just got really weird for some reason. I don't know. Did your lighting change on that side? Oh, maybe
No,
because you're holding it really close. Hold it back a little.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know
This
what
is
happened.
Rift.
There we go. There we go. That's good.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And this dark green is...
Your camera doesn't like that.
No, it doesn't like that. What is the problem?
I don't know. Oh. Which one is that?
This is something I got at my local yarn store. It's what I talked about. It's the dad-son dye indie dyers.
Oh,
A father-son indie dyer from Pennsylvania. Yes. They are called well, okay, there's 2 different names. It can be yarn, is it yarn.rehab or rehab.yarn? I think it's yarn.rehab.
Yeah, I remember.
Yarn rehab. Yarn.rehab. Not .com, just yarn.rehab. Or you can go to Meadowcroft Dye Works. Can you see that, Debbie?
Mm-hmm.
That also links you to the page. And my local yarn store has exclusive on some of their beautiful yarns. Isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to knit the other one, which I just cast on. And I may be possibly making this putting it into a pattern. You see I finished with a little bit on the tip. And, okay, so I only have this much left. Do you think I'll have enough?
Amy!
Okay, so this is Rift.
Yes.
And I only have
Did you
that
use that for
much.
something else though? That whole skein is
Yes,
in that
yes.
stock.
I made little shorties for Morgan, my
Oh,
stepdaughter,
right,
out
right.
of this.
Okay.
But I do have some fairy pools from Lolo Did It that I need to do the cuff in this, but with the little dots and stripes, I don't think it'll be
That'll work.
okay,
Yeah.
just in case.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so I got that.
Are you doing those
Is
cuff down?
always do mine cuff down. I never do toe up.
Okay, and you do how many stitches? 56?
I do 60, same as mom, 60 on a size
Right,
2, 9-inch
right.
circs.
Okay.
And they just seem to,
US
fit me
size
the best.
2, right? US size.
US size 2. Yes, US
What's
size
that
2.
in millimeters?
That is, I don't know, because I don't have my little measurer.
I don't have mine here either. Oh, wait.
You have one? Maybe your secretary can find it. No? Don't have it?
Ta-da! Okay.
Ta-da. Okay,
A
you found it.
US size 2 is either a 2.75 or a 3 millimeter.
Why do you say
There's
either?
because there's two. There's two number twos here. Oh, you know what? Two must be 2.75. 2.5 must be 3. So a 2 would be 2.75 millimeter.
Millimeter. Okay. US is at the bottom. Okay, got it. Yep, that's right. Okay, so the other sock that I actually got done and actually finished the second sock this morning before I went out for a run.
That's cute, Aim. Now, which yarn is that?
This is Yarn Ink.
Uh-huh.
I think it's just their pink. And this is Popsicle, Hedgehog Fiber Popsicle. And look what I did.
So cute, Aim.
So they each have a little button.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I may put this up as a pattern. I think cute as a button might be a cute name for.
Just check on Ravelry for the name. Just make sure
Yes, I will.
20 patterns named that.
I had this really cool, it was sort of like an iridescent colored button.
It's really
I don't know
pretty.
why I was hanging on to it. I think I had 4 or 5 different ones, and I asked Debbie which one. She says, "Oh, I like that one." So there it is.
That's really cute, Aim.
Thanks.
Those
So,
would be really cute if you had low boots and that was popping out of the top of the boot.
well, and that's exactly what I'm going to do because Aiken, Jared's girlfriend, she's the skinniest, cutest little thing. So I'm going to see if she can put on some leggings, and she's got some low boots. I'm going to have her model these. I'm going to take some pictures. So maybe I'll put it up as a pattern if anybody's interested. But this is a little trick. You see the top of that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's a little Nana trick. So if you want to know the Nana trick, maybe you have to get the pattern. Just saying.
It's kind of a well-known edging, but that's okay.
Okay, well, not the people who were asking me about it. Miss, you think you know everything.
They
Nana's
must be
laughing,
new
saying,
They must be new.
well, maybe they are.
Yeah.
I'm a new knitter. I mean, I've been knitting for 6 years. I still consider myself a new knitter.
Has it been 6 years already? When did we go to Seattle?
Okay, this is what happened when I was leaving. Remember I came to visit you one time with Sky? She was about 2.5. And you said, you need to put down your crochet hook and pick up some needles. And you
Yes.
said, here's some needles, here's some yarn. I'll start you on a hat. You can at least knit it on the plane.
Right.
And I couldn't stick to the pattern even then because I started modifying it. It got all wonky. And that Sky was about 2.5 and she's 8.5. She's almost 9. Even
That
the
is
very
so
first pattern.
you. What
I
is wrong
cannot.
with you?
I don't know what's wrong with me. And I was never a rebel growing up. I mean,
Oh,
I followed
please.
the rules. I
Oh,
was. Okay, rebel, tell me what I did. Do we need to talk about this before we have a recording and a podcast?
I think you need to think about some of the crazy things you've done.
I'll talk to you later. You call me on the phone.
Okay.
You can remind me.
Okay.
I have some skeins in the closet. That's all the knitting that I have.
Okay, I have a little bit more knitting.
Okay, good. Show us.
Okay, so I turned the heel. I think I had done this before on the last podcast. Had I turned the heel on my Lolo Did It socks yet?
No, no.
Okay. So what I did on these socks is I did a fish lips kiss heel, but I did a slip stitch like you would do down the heel flap. I did that for the whole heel on a fish lips kiss heel. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, that's neat, Deb. Oh, I'm so glad you said that. Remind me to tell you something about my toes. Really cute.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I love this yarn.
Isn't that?
This, I think I want to knit a sweater in this yarn.
Yes. Now, what colorway is that from Lolo?
It's don't look at the flowers, Lizzie.
And the
Love,
other one is blue suede shoes.
right? Love, love. So I am at the point now where I'm up high enough behind the heel to where I'm up to where kind of like your leg is now above your
Yes.
ankle.
Yes.
And I think I'm going to do blueberry waffles for,
At the top.
yeah, for the leg.
Very nice.
Aren't they
Have you ever?
cool?
Yes, that is so neat, Debbie. And I did because I wanted to try it too. Great minds think alike on my pink socks.
Yeah.
I did the slip stitch like the
Uh-huh.
like the I have partridge heel. I did the same for the toes.
Oh, wow, Aim. That looks cool.
Yeah. But I think there's something weird about when you slip it and you're decreasing. I don't know if it's a little bit looser through there. I mean, I tried it on. It fits me okay.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd try something different. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that's neat.
Came out pretty good.
So I do my socks with size 1, 2.25 millimeter, high, highest sharp, 2 at a time, toe up,
Go
look
up.
at a time. I've done some top down, and actually the first
Magic
sock
loop.
pattern that I wrote top down, cuff down. But yeah, so 64 stitches. I think I said that. If I have a yarn that's a little bit thicker, like one of the Baron Buddha's barefoot sock yarn is a little bit plumper, I can get away with a 2.5 millimeter needle and do like 56 stitches.
Cool.
And I think maybe even like the Patton's Croy is a little bit of a heavier yarn. I think I could get away with that as well. But I like my socks to be pretty dense, a pretty firm fabric, because, you know, I like to walk around in my socks with no shoes on my tile floor. So I'm sorry I have cold flooring and I have to have socks and I need to knit myself a pair of slippers. That's what I need to do.
That's what you need to do.
Okay,
And I would probably wear my running socks if I was in a cold place. I wouldn't wear my hand nets around on the floor without them being in shoes. But then again, it's like, why waste the whole year and only get out the fine china on Thanksgiving? You should use it every day. Debbie, I saw what you were starting to knit. Is that with Mom's Kool-Aid dyed yarn?
Yes.
And how old is that Kool-Aid dyed yarn?
I don't know
That was grape flavor.
I don't know when she dyed it, but she gave
That'd be 20, 25 years ago.
Oh, no.
Wasn't that long?
So I think she went to a yarn dyeing.
Wasn't she in Atlanta?
Mom, where were you when you dyed this yarn? I have no idea. You'll have to call me and let me know.
You need to call us right now.
This is the Skein.
And how much did you have? Is that worsted, Debbie?
She didn't know. When I weighed it, I think it's like a DK. I don't think it's as heavy as a worsted.
Okay.
No, it's definitely a DK. It's heavier than fingering. It could be a sport weight, but when I compared it to other sport weight for yardage, I think I have over 500 yards.
Wow, and that one skein.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're just
skein.
So you're knitting that little sweater for who?
My girlfriend Tanya has a new baby in her life.
Okay, did the baby come?
Yes, the baby's here.
The baby is here, and it's a little girl?
Yes.
And what's her name?
Her name is Kai.
Kai,
which means like something about love of the ocean or something.
Ooh.
And I just split for the sleeves. It's really a dark.
Oh,
it's really
Debbie,
dark.
It's
not
just
showing up very good.
It's showing up. It's showing up. Oh my gosh, Debbie, how many baby sweaters have you knit? As many?
So many
adult sweaters, or more?
I don't know. I've never really counted.
A lot.
About the same. Probably about the same. So
And
I'm
you know
right
what?
at the spot now where you split. It's actually here. Let me show you the picture of the back. It's got a split up the back, and it has an adorable little bow.
Oh my gosh, Debbie, how cute is that?
So you knit the top part, and
Oh,
then you knit back and forth
for
on the
on the
one
one
side,
side.
and then you pick up and you knit back and forth on the other side. And
Oh my
it's
gosh,
called
great.
Charlie Baby Girl Jacket.
Is it
Uh,
on Ravelry?
I think it's I believe it's a free pattern. Charlie Baby Girl Jacket.
Oh, and you're going to use white as the
I don't
edging?
know if I'm going to do white or try. I'd really like to find a periwinkly kind of blue that
Bluish.
matches. I don't know. Can you
That's
tell?
beautiful.
Can you see?
Oh, it's all garter.
It's garter on the top, and then the bottom parts
His
are
stockinette.
stockinette.
That's beautiful. That's cute. One of the girls that
And I'm
does my
housing it in
nails.
my Mrs. Brown's bags. Look at how good
Of
it matches.
course you are. Matchy matchy. One of the girls that does my nails, she was so funny. She says, Amy, I bought a couple hats for Thea. Her baby was born last December. And what she did, she says it was really weird because it was only like $3.
You
She's like,
told
of
me
course,
this. I think you
yeah.
told this on one of our
And and
podcasts.
she got in the mail
The
the
pattern.
paper pattern, not the hat. And she's not a knitter. And she's like, what a dingbat I am.
Did
So
you
I
get
took
them?
it and I did. I knit the one, but she's the only baby I know. And I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe I'll knit a little. The sweaters go so fast. I see
Yeah.
people do them in just like a week or less. It's just really, really
Especially if
quick.
it's a DK or a worsted weight, it goes super duper fast.
Yeah.
You could do them
Yeah.
in 2 or 3 evenings just because
Yeah.
they're so small, depending on the size.
Yeah. Okay,
So
I've got some skeins in the closet. Do you? Anything? Do you have any more knitting?
no more knitting. I was so
Okay.
good, and I didn't buy anything else. Oh wait,
I wasn't.
I bought one thing, but it hasn't come yet. I bought the next mystery month with Lolo did it, the Breakfast Club
Not.
colorway. It hasn't
You
been
did
revealed
not.
yet, but I can't wait to see it.
Hasn't she done the Breakfast Club or somebody's done the Breakfast Club?
Somebody else may have done it, but
Has Molly?
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it's just stuff that I've seen for on Lolo saying.
Probably saw it on Instagram.
So she so she revealed the name, but
Yeah,
nobody knows what the color is.
right. It's her
Well, I
Yarn
bought
of the
some.
Month club, and you can just go over there and buy 1 month and get one skein.
Oh,
Just be surprised. So that's the only thing
well,
that hasn't come yet.
for some reason something happened this last week and it was Saturday. And it was just like Saturday morning, and I was saw something on Instagram. Well, of course, Vicky from Baronvula, she does her updates on Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
and every time I've tried to get anything, I've been carjacked. I've had to pull over on the side of the road. My husband's has had to help me. It's always a major to do, and I went over there again, and it's asking me all these questions, and I was just like, I sent a private message to Vicky, and I said, "Here I go again, trying to get something, and now I don't know if it went through or not." And then I get this email that says, "Hey, you got it." I'm like, "Yay for me!" But I'll show you that next time because I'm sure it'll be here by then.
Oh,
But
you're teasing me. I thought you had it.
I don't have it yet.
You
I got
the name of
two.
the color.
I got two kits.
Kits.
Why am I hearing myself?
I don't know. I'm not hearing you.
Oh no.
No, I can hear you. I'm not hearing
Yes.
you twice.
Okay, I'm hearing myself twice. Oh, that'll drive me absolutely bonkers.
Okay, maybe it'll keep you from talking so much.
Maybe it won't. Shut your mouth. Okay, so on that note, I'm going to keep talking and let you know, see what else I got. Okay, so I somebody named Joy. It is not funny. You can stop laughing. Don't get tickled. Get a tissue before you have to wipe your eyes. Are you finished now with all your antics?
Okay.
So somebody sent a message on after one of the podcasts, probably the last one. Are you finished?
Say anything. Keep going. I'm listening.
Doesn't look like you're listening. It looks like you're just having too much fun over there. And her name is Joy. Her name is Holy Cricket Knits. She says, why has it taken me so long to find you guys? She's also a physical therapist, so I already love her. So I went over, found out she has an Etsy shop.
Really?
And I got a bag.
Oh, how cute is that?
My Halloween bag.
Oh, Aim, it's cute.
Isn't that the cutest?
It looks like it's the perfect size too.
And it's just got the perfect amount of fluff that I like. Debbie knows that I like fluff in my bags. Isn't that cute? And it came with a
Awesome.
cute card.
Oh.
So her name is Joy. Her shop and her Instagram name, it's all one word, Holy, Holy, Cricket, Cricket, Knits, Knits. And if that's wrong, I will be very upset with myself. And I'll have to say that I'm sorry next time. And also in the bag was another little bag that had.
Now, is that because you're special, or does she do that with
No, it's,
everybody? Oh.
well, I bought the bag and she put these in there. Aren't those cute?
Oh my
But she
gosh.
sells these on her Etsy shop, in her Etsy shop.
So
And
cute.
she threw in one of her hairs. That was very nice. But
Amy.
look at this. Sorry, it was a big long brown hair, and I'm sure it was hers because I think that's the color hair she has. Look how cool is that?
Wow.
Little mini skein.
Do you
So
think
thank you,
you think
Joy.
she dyed that?
I don't think, hold on a second. Let me just relook again. Okay, this the yarn is hand painted knitting yarns, HPKY. This has no colorway and was individually painted for my local yarn shop. And
Oh,
sock weight 60% superwash, 30% bamboo, 10% nylon. It's just a small little 13-gram sample. Isn't that cute?
very
She
cute.
made the stitch markers from her recycled jewelry. How about that? Isn't
Yeah,
that the coolest?
yeah. Let me
So
see.
thank you, Joy. You're so, so sweet to include those couple little sweet things and love my Halloween bag.
That size is perfect for socks and
So, yep. So go over to Holy Cricket Knits to her little Etsy shop, Joy, and get yourself a cool Halloween bag.
love it.
Thank you, Joy. Me too. Love it.
Great.
I have two more things to show.
Okay,
Do you have anything else to
let me
show?
talk about one thing. I got a message from, I don't know if you know, Shauna Stitches. She has a podcast, and
Yeah.
she has, I follow her on Instagram, and I think she pops on Sue's Periscope in the morning sometimes, and
Okay.
um, she is in the process of designing a new heel, and she's calling it.
I'm not sure what to call it, heel,
I'm gonna
because
mess it
nobody
up.
might
I better not say.
remember.
I think it's called the Kiss of Partridge or something. So she is trying to combine
Combine the
the
two fish
two,
lips and eye
similar to
of
the fish
partridge.
lips and the eye of partridge. And she asked me if I would like to try and test knit the heel pattern. So she just sent it to me. Hi, Shauna.
Oh, wow.
Going to probably cast on a new pair of socks soon and give that a try. So
Maybe
keep
it'll
your
be
eye out
called
for that.
Kiss of the Partridge.
Yes.
Maybe that's what it's called. If it's not called that, it should be.
I
Shauna, if you're
I
listening.
think it is. I can look it up real quick while you're talking. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Oh, I get to talk some more. Okay, well, while Debbie is distracted, I have a little story to tell. Another story, you say? Yes, another story. This is a very true story about my sister, and a while back when she was knitting, a couple years ago or so, she knit a beautiful infinity scarf for me that had yak hair in it. And it was one of the most beautiful things I have ever seen or laid eyes on or felt. And I tried it on, and it was just the most beautiful thing I've ever had. Until she told me that she liked it so much after she knit it that it was going to be for me, that
I
she was going to keep it for herself.
that's not how the story went down, and you know it.
I think that's kind of how the story went down, Indian Giver. Okay, so you tell, what part did I say wrong? Okay, yes or no? You're on the stand now. Did you knit an infinity wrap scarf that had yak hair in it?
Yes, I
Yes or
did.
no?
I think it's
Okay,
hair. It's
Okay.
yak. Whatever.
Yak.
Okay.
Yarn. Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yes. The answer is yes. Number 2.
You
Did
look.
you knit it?
You
Did
look,
you knit it?
you look like Judge
What?
Judy.
Okay. So listen up. Tap, tap, tap. Listen up. Number 2. Did you knit it in intending it to give to me? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Number 3. Did you not let me put it on and feel it and gush over it when you were telling me that you liked it so much that you decided to keep it for yourself? Yes or
No.
no?
No.
Okay, 2 out of 3 is majority, so.
Before I even showed it to you, I said, I originally knit this for you, but I loved it so much I had to keep it, but I will still let you look at it and see it and feel
And you can get the pattern and knit it yourself if you'd like. Okay, so
I gave
anyway.
you the pattern.
Yes, you gave me the pattern. Thank you very much. And I did knit it, but it didn't feel anything like yours did because mine didn't have yak. However, marching
Okay.
forward from that day,
It's called Kiss the Partridge.
Kissed the partridge.
Yes.
French kiss or Nana kiss? Okay, kiss the partridge. Okay, so moving along. I was looking at Instagram and I couldn't believe my eyes. There was a post from this coolest chick called Artistic Lily.
Yes, I know of her. She's the one.
Artistic.
She's the one that made the custom colorway for the grocery girls called I Can't Even.
Okay, so I Can't Even. This post was 100% baby yak.
And please tell me you're going to knit me something out of that.
I am not. I will knit something and then I will say it's for you and then I will take it back from you because you're so sweet like that. 100. And so she says, well, how many skeins do you want? I said, how many do you have? She said 5. I said, I will take all of it.
Oh my gosh.
100. Debbie, this is the most
I know.
glorious. So, oh, I wouldn't know because I don't have the infinity wrap.
What are you
Excuse
going to
me
make?
very
Okay,
much.
so what are you going to make?
So I've got like each one of these is 135 yards, 123 yards, and I have 5 of them. So I'm thinking about,
You have like 600 yards.
yes, I'm thinking about designing an infinity wrap and possibly using some of my gradients that the grocery girls gave me.
Ooh,
The pink gradients.
that would look really
So anyway, so back and forth on Instagram, and of course this girl Lily is thinking we've both lost our minds completely because we're like on each other about this whole yak story. She private messaged me, Debbie, you're going to not believe this. Okay, so anyway, you must go over to Artistic Lily,
Yes.
her Etsy shop. She's got hand-dyed yarns, beautiful. She's going to be getting more baby yak in her shop because I bought her out. I said, you better be careful because once I show this, everybody's going to want some. She says, I'll have some more. So she says, this is the first. This is sort of like a test to see if anybody wanted it. Watch. I'm the only one that's going to want baby yak, and she's going to buy all this baby yak and dye it, and nobody's going to buy it from her. That's ridiculous.
That's not
She
gonna
will probably sell out. She'll sell out. So she didn't name this base yet, but she messaged me the other night. Guess what she named it? The Indian Giver Yak by Debbie. No, I'm only kidding. No, I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. But look, she named it Take Back Yak.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Take
Oh,
Back
that's
Yak.
awesome.
Isn't
That's
that
so cool.
cute?
Yeah.
And this is DK, but it's very light DK. I'm going to basically
That
think
looks
of
like
it as
fingering
fingering.
almost. That looks
Yes, it's just, oh my gosh, you guys, I cannot say more about this baby yak.
Pull that thing away from your face a little bit. I don't know.
Is that better? How you'd rather me talk? Shush, shush. Okay. Is that better, ma'am?
No, that's too far.
Oh, how is that? Is
That's
that
better. It's
So
really hard,
please,
people. It's really hard to get the sound on both sides to be
yeah.
and be the same. And I'm not doing more processing. It's cute. I'm not going
So
to try to
please
separate
go,
the two files and get.
please go over to Artistic Lily.
That's
The
awesome.
coolest. Oh, this, you guys, you're going to love this baby yak. Go and get it. because I don't know how much she's going to have. And once she dies, she's going to do it in small increments, I bet. She's going to be like Vicky from Baronfula. You're going to try to go get it. And you're going to be like, ah. Okay, what else do you have anything else to show that you bought?
No, I didn't. I'm trying to be really good and not buy any more because look, people, look at all this up here. I do
I
not need
know.
any more yarn. I'm waiting until
I
Rhinebeck.
do. If
And
anybody
we
wants
have,
to send me any, I'd like some more. I'm only kidding. Do not send me any yarn.
oh
I've got one more package to show.
my gosh.
I
You
felt really bad.
glutton. You're gluttonous.
I know I am. Okay, so I felt really badly because when I got, look at all the wraps that I've knit just in the last, oh, not that one. That one's from Dessous. She's so the best. Okay, so this, if anybody remembers, this was my random act of color.
Yes.
And this beautiful purple was from Moods of Color.
Mm-hmm.
Gro is
Bro.
the dyer's name.
Mm-hmm.
She is a Swedish dyer. Well, I'll have you know, because I have so many, I've talked about this before, because I have so many variegated yarns in my stash, I needed some more solids, especially creams and grays, so I can knit stripes, which I love for socks. So I ordered, no, it's not like very exciting, cream, Moods of Color, and gray,
Pretty.
and then that little stinking Gro. I'll tell you what she did. Well, I originally ordered, okay, so this one's called Silver Gray. This is just the Silver Gray from Moods. This has got the nylon. And this is called Natural White. Okay? But it's like
That's
a kind
also
of
a
a
sock
creamy
yarn.
ivory. That's a sock yarn.
Sock yarn. Yeah.
Well, I originally wanted this gray, which is called Ashes and Memories, because she put a little bit of her grandfather in the dye from his urn. I'm only kidding. Imagine. You know what? That's a great idea.
Amy, you are
Do you
so
think you could open those urns?
hip.
Do you think you could? Well, this is what, no lie. You know what Sky said? Because I told her I want to be cremated. She says, well, I'm going to put some of those ashes in some paint and I'm going to paint some beautiful pictures with your ashes. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. That's better than what Dad wants us to do with his ashes. Throw it in the cold ocean, like Mom said. If you throw my ashes in the ocean, I'll come haunt you. Okay, back to Ashes and Memories. I originally wanted this one. And she said, Amy, this doesn't have nylon. So, I said, ooh, so it's 100% merino. But she threw it in my package anyway.
That was so
Okay.
sweet.
But she didn't just throw that in.
She put one in there for you to send to me.
No, she didn't say any of these for you at all. I'm sure she didn't, honestly. But I'll share them if you must. This one's called Autumn Love.
Ooh, that's
100% merino.
ooh, that's pretty.
Look at that in my hair.
That's awesome. That's a
Isn't
color
that
for you.
gorgeous?
You need to keep that one.
And that's not all, people.
Oh my gosh.
This is called Stormy.
Ooh,
Stormy Moods number 3.
I think I'm
This
gonna like
does
this one.
this does have nylon.
Ooh, those are my colors. That's pretty.
Turquoise
Really
and
pretty.
purples.
I have a
Isn't that?
lot of yarn that color. Gorgeous.
Well, good. Then you don't need this one.
I don't need that one. You can keep it.
Perfect. Then I'll keep
yourself.
it for myself.
Okay.
So anyway, Gro from Moods of Color. She's Swedish. And you know what? I have never had an international package come so fast, like a week.
Really?
I don't know what they're doing. They're flying them on the storks or something from Sweden over here. Every package that I've gotten from her has come in like a week to 10 days. It's crazy. Probably because she gets them in the mail like the very next day or the same day.
Yeah.
And that helps a lot. And then you get it's just amazing. So these absolutely gorgeous beauties from Grow. Thank you, Grow. I won't share them at all with Debbie because she said she doesn't need them. She has these colors. And the orange one is not her color. It's mine.
Mm-hmm.
So that, my friends, is all I have. Are you all exhausted by now? I know Mother's already turned us off.
I think they need to hear my voice for a little while.
Okay, so what are you going to tell us?
I'm
going to sing
them
the alphabet?
Tell them a story. No, I'm kidding. I don't have a story to tell, but
I
do want to let everybody know that signed up for the September birthday swap. I'm going to match you guys up today, and I will get that back in the
Ooh.
group. And I don't know if you have gone over to the thread in our Ravelry group that's labeled birthday box, but there have been some amazing birthday swaps through this
Is
birthday.
that the hashtag birthday box?
We have there's a thread in our group
Right.
called
Called birthday
birthday
swap.
box.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And
See how often I go over there?
people post pictures when they get their swap and they show
Gotcha.
what they got in their birthday
Gotcha.
box from their
Gotcha.
partner. And
Okay, I get that.
if you need some ideas of what would be fun to put in a birthday box swap, head
Go
over
look at
to
the
that
thread.
thread and look and see what
Hmm.
people have done. I mean, like some people have swapped 2 and 3 full skeins of yarn, minis, and little notebooks, and all kinds of stuff. So
Yeah.
really try and get to know your swap partner. Figure out how big of a package you guys want to do, and you don't have to do something extravagant, just something
No.
small. The whole point is to get a surprise birthday package in your birthday month from a new friend and make a new friend
Yeah.
in the fiber world. So that's the
Yeah.
purpose of the birthday swap. So I will go ahead and match you guys for September. I'll open up the thread for October. Um, and you guys can go on over there. Check it out.
That's great.
Yeah. So that's all I
So
have.
what are you going to do this week? You're going to keep working on your sleeves? I know Mother will be busy knitting on my sleeves.
Okay,
She'll probably get it done in 2 days.
people, this is a call. This is a
No
call out.
call. No call outs
What
allowed.
are our two what do you call it? Our two polls for today.
Yes.
Is it a Rhinebeck sweater if you haven't knit at least all of it yourself?
At least all of it. Come on. I'll probably have to put the buttons on too. That takes a long time.
And what was the other one?
What was our second poll?
I can't remember. I'll have to go back and watch. But anyway,
Go to the show notes. Maybe you can find out from there.
yeah, the never written show notes by my sister Amy Meeks. She just pops in, does the recording, and then goes on her merry way and is.
I've got knitting to do.
Oh, and I don't.
I don't have a Rhinebeck sweater to knit on. I'm sure I'll find something to knit on.
What are you going to knit next? More socks?
Well, I gotta get this second one done because I
Okay.
just started to cast on, and I've got another design I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about doing a sock with some color work.
And
But
like
I've got
the ones that you just finished don't have color work?
no,
Those are striped, I guess, huh?
yeah, kind of. Yeah, they're not really color work. I've got to get in touch with Alpaca Anna. If you guys love socks
Yes.
and like one of a kind socks, you've got to go over to Alpaca Anna. ALPAKKAANNA. I'm sure you follow her. She is from Sweden. She's the one that set me up
Introduced you
with
with Grow.
with
Yeah.
Grow. Okay, Alpaca Anna is she's another engineer, another math whiz, but she designs some absolutely gorgeous socks. I'm going to have to instant message her and tell her to give me some tips and ideas when you're doing color work with socks because they really I don't want to have to go through all of that and not be able to get it over my heel because the tension is too tight. So there's got to be some little tricks to it. So be on the lookout for that. Maybe our next podcast, maybe I will have a color work sock I can show you, depending on how much my husband lets me knit, because the big truck is in the shop.
Ooh, that's
It
bad
could be
news.
one of two things.
That's
Okay,
bad
I
news
know bad.
knitting time.
Okay, it's bad news for me all around. Okay, so Ronnie basically tells me it could. Hopefully, he thinks it's one thing. Hopefully, it's not the other thing. But the good news is, the easy fix is only $2,000. The big fix is $20,000. So let's kind of hope it's not the $20,000 problem.
I'll say a prayer.
Lord, thank you. Hopefully, it's just the oil something or other and not having to rebuild a brand new motor. But
Yeah, that would be
we
bad.
will find out come Monday or Tuesday. Okay, so on that bright note,
If you can't
I guess.
be quiet, no. If you can't be kind,
Okay, we all know we can't be quiet. So let's start once again.
if you can't be kind,
Then be quiet. So you really have no options here.
you
I don't
have
have any
no
options here.
options.
I have no options. All right, so everybody keep knitting on the 3 pips. The last clue is coming out this Friday. And so we'll probably see you next weekend.
And do you think we should open like a finished objects thread and let people pop their finished objects in there once they're done?
That's not a bad idea because we also have to talk about, I don't know what the other grocery girls and Chelsea and Sue Legacy
Oh,
Knits
I
and
haven't been
Lolo did it.
group in a while. We got to go.
Yeah, they're also hosting the mystery knit along. So I'm not sure how they're going to pull their prizes. We need to talk about how we're going to pull our prizes. I think it's probably a good idea. So as soon as we get done here, I will put up a finished objects thread, even though nobody, unless they have the 3rd clue, which they don't.
It should.
Mother doesn't post things, does she?
No.
She doesn't have the 3rd clue yet either. She gets it within a couple days before because she knits she's probably going to be texting me today. I need the 3rd clue, and it's not even written up yet. She's going to need that because she's so fast. Okay, so I'll put a finished objects thread on Ravelry. The chatter thread from here on out is just for chatter, no pictures. If you want to put up your progress, there is a spoilers thread, so put them in there.
Okay.
Okay, so if you can't be kind, be quiet. So high five. Over and out.
Thanks for watching. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, we're back. Okay, we're not done.
Okay, we're back because Amy was such a jabberjaws and kept talking and talking and distracted me. I totally forgot to show you guys something that I got.
I love Sue and Chelsea's one podcast. They're like, okay, first goodbye.
I know.
Okay, second goodbye. Okay, this was the other goodbye was our first goodbye. Okay, please show us.
So you may recall that I had some artwork that I decided I was going to send off to Spoonflower.
Your Zentangle.
Zentangle artwork. This is the result, one of the pieces of fabric that came back, and I got all three. All three came back. I just haven't cut the other 2 out, but I can show you the artwork that I used for the other.
Is there enough edge to sew?
Yes. Well, that was...
Banana say there was enough edge to sew?
Well, I cut this out because these pictures, I don't know if you can tell. Can you see how... You may not be able to see with this lighting. The color,
Debbie, it's so pretty.
Changes slightly along the edge.
Yes, slightly.
So
from yellowish to white.
When I drew these pictures, I did not intend to photograph them and send them off to create fabric. So I drew right up to the edge of the paper, and I ended up having, and the paper I used was a little bit cream colored. So even to get the picture, I had to rip it out of the thing and put it on a larger piece of paper to take the photo. Right. So you live and learn these things as you do them. So that's the artwork.
That's so cool.
This piece. And then...
How are you going to name those? So you're going to make them into project bags, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Debbie, that is so cool. That reminds me of like a pumpkin, like an autumn type. Doesn't it, you guys, against a lattice? I don't know. So how are you going to name these, Debbie?
I don't know. And then this is the last one.
I love that. And Tracy, that's a feather, not a chili pepper. Just to remind you, that's what a feather looks like. Debbie, that is so cool.
And I don't know if do you see the date when I actually drew this?
7, Wendy's birthday on 2013.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
that was a little bit of therapy on that day.
Yes, it was therapy on that day. That's when I finished it. So anyways, so those will be coming in the shop. Bags. There'll be project bags, and maybe I'll make a couple little, what do you call those? Like a mug rug, maybe, or something. I don't know. I'll see. But
aren't mug rugs smaller, or would you have to cut them up? Parts.
No, mug rugs can be like a little. It's almost like a little mini placemat to put your mug and your little plate. I don't know. So I don't know. This one looks like it printed kind of like where it didn't capture all the ink or something. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not in a huge rush to get anything in the shop, so y'all are
of course you're not, although everybody wants them.
I know, but I'm thinking just with the end of the year in Rhinebeck and
after Rhinebeck,
Christmas knitting and all of that. It may be after the first of the year, maybe a springtime thing that I get them made. I'd like to get them made before I showed them too many times because then I
I
don't
was going to
pressure.
say that's very, very nice to tease people and say, oh,
I
but you can't
know.
have these for 6 more months. Ha ha. At
Well,
least you can get them,
yes.
unlike some people and yak things. Just saying. Okay, so we're going to say goodbye for the second time?
Yes. Okay. Goodbye.
Okay.
Have a wonderful day. Happy knitting, everybody. Thank you for
Happy
watching.
knitting.